What up, this is Ramashkrin covering movies, TV, and entertainment, and here's my review of Disney Plus new Star Wars series, Andor. Hey, before you watch my review, please subscribe to my channel, press that like button, ring that bell, so you can get notified whenever I post new videos. Let's rock this! First up, I would like to say thank you to Disney Plus for granting me the screeners to the first 4 episodes of this new show. They've asked me to not spill spoilers, therefore this review is spoiler free. I repeat, there are no spoilers in this video review. Look, you don't have to complicate things. There's an easy way to summarize this new series, and that is, if you like Rogue One, then you're definitely gonna like Andor. Because just like Rogue One, this too is a grounded, character-driven crime drama adventure. Thanks to the same writer of Rogue One, Oscar nominee Tony Gilroy, who has a penchant for mystery thrillers. Andor is gritty and absorbing, and Diego Luna reprises his role as if he never left. His performance is very measured, very subtle, and at times ruthless. Now, while it is never fair to judge an entire show based on just 4 episodes, these 4 episodes, however, are more than enough to paint a picture of what you can anticipate from the rest of this first season. And trust me, you are in for what is possibly the most vigorous, most compelling, most intricate Star Wars show. Created and showrun by Tony Gilroy, Andor is a spy thriller from Lucasfilm that takes place 5 years before the events of Rogue One, a Star Wars story. The era featured in Andor is filled with danger, deception, and intrigue, where Cassian will embark on the path that is destined to turn him into a rebel hero. Andor presents Star Wars from a different perspective, focusing on everyday people whose lives are affected by the Empire. The decisions they make have real consequences, and the stakes for them and the galaxy could not be higher. Starring Diego Luna, Genevieve O'Reilly, Stellan Skarsgård, Forrest Whitaker, Adria Arjona, Denise Gao, Kyle Soller, Fiona Shaw, and Faye Marsay. Okay, was I a fan of that Star Wars spin-off movie Rogue One? Yeah. I remember thinking it was as if Lucasfilm had created their own version of The Dirty Dozen or The Guns of Navarone, which was kinda cool. But to be honest, Diego Luna's Cassian Andor was not my favorite character in that film. My favorite, of course, was everybody's favorite, which was Donnie Yen, but don't ask me how to pronounce his character's name. That said, I totally get why Andor is the one that gets his own show. Because Andor is a character who's not afraid to compromise, even goes so far as to kill for the sake of completing his mission. If James Bond doesn't give a fuck about charming ladies is what I'm saying. So yes, Cassian Andor is interesting enough for a show to further explore episodically. Those characteristics and more are what Tony Gilroy and Diego Luna brought back with their reunion here. The first episode hits the ground running, with Cassian in search of his sister. It seems that the context is that Cassian came from a long-forgotten tribe that has quite a bit of a reputation. So, an incident happens that leads to an investigation by a character who, despite the orders from on high to do otherwise, just would not let this case go. Adria Arjona is here, not necessarily as a love interest, but you can tell there's tension between her character and Cassian. Oh, and it's so good seeing Stellan Skarsgård, who is already part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, now joining Star Wars universe as well. You get to know more about his character come episode 4, but he is still as mysterious as can be. The espionage aspects of Andor move like a page-turner, like a novel, and Tony Gilroy's writing is so attentive and inclusive that he even gives extensive juicy lines to minor supporting characters and makes them seem more important than they actually are. Just a bit of heads up, some of the episodes can be very slow, and so if you don't have the patience for it, then Andor might not be for you. But my counter argument is, just as with any spy thrillers out there, Andor is mostly about cat and mouse game, about outwitting, outplaying, and outsmarting the other guy, and who's ultimately using who for their agenda. So the show has its fair share of shootouts and grandiose set pieces, but overall, Andor is a lot more conventional than the Star Wars you're used to. And if that's your cup of tea, then by all means enjoy Andor.